teach is not satanic, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
God forbid.
So the prophet Moses here is teaching that God cursed the serpent and said that a woman is going to have seed that is going to be against the seed of the serpent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so this seed, and we know that women don't have seed, but there's only one woman who had her own seed, which is Mary, miraculously, obviously. So can we agree with that point so far?
I can't agree Mary had seed. I can't agree with that.
All right, so
point.
when it says that the seed of the woman, not the seed of a man, the seed of a woman, what is it talking about?
That's interesting wording. So according to that passage, a woman has seed. I've never heard of that concept before, but
Exactly.
okay. Yeah, according to that passage. Yeah.
So then how can a woman have seed? Because women don't have seed naturally.
I don't believe women have seed.
Huh?
I don't believe women have seed.
They don't.
Yes.
So then how is this woman having her own seed?
What are you trying to derive out of that?
Well, you'll get there in a second. No trailers.
Yeah. No. What I want you to tell me what you're trying to derive from this.
I promise you will.
Okay.
I can't just give it to you just yet. I gotta, turn the burner on, and
Okay.
so see, like that. So basically, when we're talking about this woman who has her own seed, what is it talking about there?
I can't speak for the Bible. I can't speak for the Bible. Let me rephrase it. Rephrase that. I can't speak for what Genesis actually means in that when it's saying that the woman has seed.
Okay.
I don't know. Because I know the Bible, remember I told you before, drawing of a drawing of a drawing. In generality, it is true, but when you start analyzing the finer details of the words, like a drawing, then you start to see inaccuracies. So when you start picking on this one word, seed, woman seed, what does that mean from a theological perspective? Again, it's a drawing of a drawing, so I wouldn't analyze it to that much detail.
So you would say that this part is a mistake?
Perhaps not. God knows best.
This is where the problem goes, because anywhere when you say, okay, yeah, the prophets all taught this, and so I believe in the prophet's message, I ask you where you get it from. You get it from the Old Testament, and so when we start analyzing what the prophets teach, whenever something seems to go against what the Quran is saying, or you just don't know about, it could be tampered with. So we don't have nothing to work with consistency. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So the interesting thing is, you, in order to establish and buttress your theology, you find, I don't want to use a word, like little humdingers, little words here and there in the Old Testament to attach a whole theological principle. I'm not finding a little word here and there. I'm talking about a grand, overarching, most occurring narrative. Is this not true? When we read the Old Testament, the grand, overarching narrative is a God who is utterly magnified at all times and exalts.
That is true.
Okay.
However, there's also another layer to it, because it's not just that. You also have a God that is gentle and is humble, even with his own people. Even though he's magnified and he's glorified and he's high above everything, he still humbles himself. He has all the virtues of goodness, which includes humility.
Can you actually define for me what you mean by humble? I'll tell you what I mean after. But
okay, so humble means like you're not too high to come low or condescend for another.
I would define humble would mean lowering yourself before somebody else. So if my father tells me, Walid, I need you to go rake the leaves, I lower myself to my father. That's humble right there. Mm-hmm. But there is none for God to lower himself to. So ascribing humility to God is a categorical error.
Would you agree that God is the most virtuous?
God is the most just, I would say.
Virtuous.
Virtuous. Define virtuous.
Let's do
it. Google it for me. Walk me through this.
All right, let's get an actual definition here. Let's see. Virtue. Virtuous. There we go. All right. Morally excellent. I hate when definitions use like the word in it. One of the definitions is having or exhibiting virtue.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But moral excellence, righteousness is what it is the second.
Okay, so the reason I'm having difficulty answering that question is because virtue in my worldview, morals, virtue, it presupposes a law given to you. So so and so is a virtuous person because there's a law that God has made and now they are accountable to that law. There is no law God is accountable to. He makes all the laws.
So
There's no standard by which to judge him. He judges me. He asks the questions, I don't.
Wouldn't he be the standard?
He would make the standard for human beings.
So he's not the standard himself?
He does what he wills.
That's not answering the question.
It is. Absolutely.
No, it's not he does what he wills.
Mhm.
Is God the standard of virtue and goodness, righteousness? Is he the standard?
Humans have a different moral category. God doesn't have a moral category because he does what he wills.
Is God good?
God is good. So what do I mean by good? What do I mean by good? You're probably going to ask me, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because I think we know what good means, and so when you say God doesn't have a moral category, but you just said God is good, you just applied a moral category to him.
Good. So what do I mean by good? He's exceedingly kind. So
That's
if
moral-
when
that's a
I
moral
when I am a
category.
so yeah, but the point is he's not forced to be that way. He does that by his will.
Okay,
So
so you're
yeah.
saying he chooses to be kind. He could choose otherwise.
By his nature, he's kind and merciful. So
Very good.
God is, soft in the sense that when my Lord, please forgive me, I've committed sin
he's
against you, and he
merciful.
feels, okay, I forgive him.
Yeah,
No problem.
I got you. So he has that mercy. So he has
By nature.
Yes. So he has these these morals that innately apply to him. Correct.
He has a personality.